Today, we're looking into something pretty interesting, actually. It's making a comeback in skincare. Beef tallow.
Yeah, it's fascinating. Not just for cooking anymore, right?
Exactly. People are talking about it as this natural, super nutrient-packed alternative to, modern creams and things. We've got a bunch of sources here, history, benefits, the big questions, too.
Mm-hmm.
So our job today is to sift through all the buzz, see what's just talk, and what might actually have some science behind it and give you the real picture.
And what's really wild is how this stuff was used, like, centuries ago.
Mm-hmm.
Pioneers relied on it for moisturizing, protecting skin in really harsh weather.
Right.
And now it's suddenly trending again, mostly because of what you see online, on social media, history repeating itself, kinda.
So let's get right into it. What is beef tallow, really, and why is everyone suddenly putting it on their face?
Okay, so basically it's rendered cattle fat. Simple as that.
Yeah.
It's full of fatty acids, oleic, palmitic, stearic acid, and also conjugated linoleic acid, CLA.
Okay, fatty acids make sense.
But here's the kicker. It's also loaded with fat-soluble vitamins. We're talking A, D, K, E.
Wow.
And get this, even some B12.
That's quite the list for just fat. I'm genuinely surprised. So how does that actually work with our skin? What does it do?
Well, think about it like this. A lot of skincare stuff, it's maybe not perfectly matched to what our skin naturally produces. Tallow, though, it's fatty acid makeup. It's remarkably close to our own sebum.
Our natural skin oil.
Exactly, our skin's own oil. So the idea is, because it's so similar, the skin can actually recognize and use its components really easily. They're bioavailable.
Right, so it integrates better.
Precisely. It can potentially slot right into your skin's lipid barrier, maybe help strengthen it from the inside out. It's not just sitting on top. It might be providing, like, the actual building blocks the skin needs for good hydration and repair.
Okay, so that sounds good in theory. But the claims online go way beyond just moisturizing. People are saying it helps with eczema, inflammation, even anti-aging. Sounds amazing. Almost too amazing, maybe? What's the reality check here?
Well, theoretically, yeah. The vitamins, the CLA, they could offer antioxidant benefits. They might help with redness, support cell turnover, promote healing. You definitely hear stories, lots of anecdotal reports from people with dry or sensitive skin saying it really helped them.
Uh-huh.
But while the theory makes sense, all that online enthusiasm, it's way ahead of the solid clinical research. There aren't any, FDA-approved skincare products where tallow is the main active ingredient.
Ah, okay.
So most of what you hear is based on personal experience, not rigorous science.
That's a really important point, which leads us to the next big question. Are there risks? Any downsides we need to know about if you're thinking of trying this?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest controversy probably is whether it clogs pores, its comedogenic potential.
Right. Does it cause breakouts?
Exactly. And here's where it gets confusing. Some sources will tell you it has a low rating, it's fine. But then you have dermatologists warning, yes, it can block pores, it could make acne worse for some people.
So a direct contradiction. That's not helpful if you have acne-prone skin.
It really isn't. And that contradiction just highlights a huge gap in our understanding. We need proper studies on that.
Okay, so the acne question is a big unknown. What else? Any other concerns?
Yeah, a couple things. One is regulation, or rather the lack of it. There are no official standards for sourcing it and making sure it's pure. You don't really know what you're getting sometimes.
Quality control issues.
Right. And also, it melts into an oil in your skin. That could make you a bit more sensitive to the sun. So definitely don't use it thinking it's sunscreen.
Good point. Not a sunscreen replacement.
Absolutely not. And dermatologists are quite clear. This isn't a replacement for proven treatments like retinol or hyaluronic acid if you have significant skin conditions.
Okay, so putting it all together, we've looked at the history, the potential, the risks, the lack of solid proof. What's the final verdict for someone listening who's curious about beef tallow?
Well, look, if you just have generally dry or maybe sensitive skin, it might be a decent natural emollient for you because of that compatibility we talked about.
Right. Yeah.
If you have acne-prone skin, you need to be really cautious. Definitely do a patch test first. See how your skin reacts. And for things like eczema or other inflammatory issues, think of it as maybe a complementary thing, something alongside what your dermatologist recommends, not instead of it.
And finding a good source, given the regulation issue.
Yeah, that's crucial. You really want to look for high-quality, pure tallow. Be pretty wary of products where you can't tell where it came from or how it was processed.
Makes sense. And maybe the most critical advice for you, our listener, overall.
Always talk to a dermatologist before you jump into trying new, especially unproven ingredients, particularly if you already have skin conditions. Go with the established, evidence-backed treatments first. That's always the safest bet.
You know, this whole deep dive, it really gets you thinking about what natural even means in skincare, doesn't it?
It really does.
The excitement for these older remedies is strong. You can see why people are drawn to them. But without the science catching up, it's hard to know if you're making the best choice.
It perfectly highlights that tension, you
Yeah.
know, between respecting historical use and demanding modern scientific proof. Definitely something to keep in mind as you figure out what works best for your own skin.